Good morning, my wonderful, beautiful people. Had to make a cup of coffee, do the Instagram shout out. I literally just got in. Would you believe that? The things we do for these little critters, right? I literally just got in. Had to go pick up some of these creatures. See these little babies. I have foster moms for them. So for those of you that are listening, maybe not watching, we have a whole ton of ASF pinkies and little fuzzies. We got a lot of snake babies here, and since I don't breed, but I do have foster moms. And if you didn't check that out, go on YouTube and check out the video, and it shows what happened when I dumped the babies in with these foster moms. It was pretty cool, especially considering that these are some cannibalistic animals. So I hope you're all having a great morning. I see that we have people here nice, bright, and early. You guys make me look forward to this. My drive to get these animals is now 3 hours and 45 minutes away. So it's not like before where it's only an hour and a half. Again, these are the things that we do for our animals. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. I didn't want to have anyone on today's show. I wanted to talk about a couple of things that are going on that continue to go on. Matter of fact, here we go. We got Matt here. Camel, he's one of the topics. Matt, you may have not known that. And by the way, guys, I will be on a live with Camel Constrictors tonight on their YouTube. So make sure you come check it out. We'll be talking about business and the business aspects of what we do in this ball python world. So make sure you come and check us out, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So tonight on Camel Constrictors YouTube at 8 p.m. So one of the things I was mentioning is how many people drop out of this hobby. We joke about it, about the 3-year list, right? We all joke about that 3-year list, and great to see so many of you awesome people here. We joke about the 3-year list. Will you be on my 3-year list? And what is that 3-year list? The 3-year list is a list of people that when you see what they're doing, it's hard to imagine they will still be around in 3 years. Unfortunately, there have been quite a few people on my list that are no longer here. We joked about it in the past, right? I have stickers. I think we all have stickers of people that are no longer here. They were quick to run and get stickers and get a logo made and get their banner. And we've been doing this now. Samson is going on his 4th year as a keeper. It's his 1st year breeding. He just got the banner. Okay, I get it. We live in this digital world. Social media presence is key. And I agree. It's funny, but it's not funny because there's animals involved. There's people with dreams that are getting crushed. I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. That may be the first time, Forest Python, that someone asked me how I was doing this fine morning. I'm a little tired. Just drove 7 hours round trip to pick up these little critters because we got to feed these animals, right? And I pick them up. I do it once a month, and I don't have any trips scheduled to the city. Usually I pick them up on my way to the city. So now that Jim has decided to join us, guys, we can start all over. Jim, I'm starting to catch the pattern here. So what I do now is I wait for you to join us before I start. Good morning, our adventurous Erin, with full name on the screen. Erin is jumping out of a plane, guys, before Tinley. So if anyone's interested in jumping out of a plane, reach out to Erin, okay? So Lynette, you got started with a collection from someone that's no longer here, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. Okay. Um, Carlos, 7+ hours, that's dedicated, and I will agree. And as a matter of fact, we're going to be talking about dedication in a few minutes. But why exactly is it, guys? Why do you think people fail in this hobby or fail in this business? Because if there's failure, I think it's more of the business side than the hobby side, right? Because hobby is fun and games and collections and all that cool stuff. But why do you think people fail when it comes to trying to do this as a business? It's kind of like the opposite of why people succeed if you think about it. Well, I say it every week when I do the Instagram shout out for people to join us on the show. Burnout is definitely a reality, right? And it's what I would think we could say is a result of where I'm getting at. No, remember I moved to the boonies, so no, I was not Mario driving a go kart. You wise ass. Danny is such a wise ass, guys. He wakes up for this. They are quitters. Well, you know what, Randy? The reality is they are, um, and that's a sad reality. It might be a very blunt reality, but why? What made them quit? Okay, marketing, building name. That's part of the process. That's definitely part of the process. Not having patience. Again, that's part of the process, Jamie. It's part of the planning stage, and this also goes with quitting. Microwave society. That's interesting that you say that, Randy, because I always talk about how no one wants to pay their dues anymore. Um, it's just like you're saying, it's a microwave society. We want to open up that microwave door, pop in the popcorn, and have it ready in 1 minute. I grew up with the Jiffy Pop. You had to put it on the stove and shake it back and forth, and then it started pop. It was actually fun. It was a cool process, but I definitely agree with that. They want instant results. That may definitely be the reality for many. But I think Mac is the first one here that's really hitting it in. Poor planning, right? Poor planning. So every Wednesday when I do the Instagram invite to come on over here, every Wednesday I always say crush your goals. Okay, whatever your goals are, whatever it is that you're doing, crush your goals. Wake up with that mindset that you want, that you're going to crush your goals. So, Mac, poor planning, get rich quick, not realizing, right, the extra work. Okay, so now you're on track, Mac, with where I was going with this, Patrick. Number one is overspending is the biggest issue. Then someone has an emergency and must sell for the money. I don't have these things ranked, but I would definitely say that overspending and having an emergency happen will fall into the poor planning, and it's aligned with the poor planning and not having your goals prepared. Okay, getting your collection too big, too fast, you can burn out, or we don't realize big collection means a lot of mouths to feed, right? And whether you're buying them or breeding them yourselves, that's either going to be a big investment as far as money is concerned, or it's going to be a huge investment of your time. You can't be lazy. You need a lot of motivation. I agree with you 100%. And let me tell you something, with that energy of yours, you are a motivator. Okay. You are definitely a motivator. Lynette, it's hard work, lots of money, time, sacrifice. I love it when people say that they don't have time. because we all have the same time. And what we do is we dedicate what we find important and we give our time to that. Eric says overspending too quickly and not budgeting yourself. Okay, very, very true. I'd sell my kidney before my snakes. Well, I'd sell my kidney to buy some snakes because you can get a pretty penny on the black market for a kidney these days. So I'd sell my kidney to buy a really nice snake, maybe a $20,000 snake. Or no, let's keep our kidneys, guys. Okay, and trust me, I know people that had to actually lose a kidney, um, have a kidney transplant. So yeah, we want to keep our kidneys. Number one reason: no money to be made in this snake business. Danny, you are a huge testament that that is not true. And again, it goes back to planning, having a realistic idea of what you're getting into, the amount of sacrifice that's involved. Sometimes life can get in your way, but you do have to grind and make time, even if the sacrifice is sleep. So life will always get in your way. And I want to make sure that we're clear that, because I've heard people say it before, the real world, my real life, this or that. If you separate your breeding operation from what you consider your real world, right there in itself, you're setting yourself up to fail. Right there, you have not prioritized your breeding operation as a business, right? Because most of us that have other businesses or have other jobs, there's no separation from your job and your real life. It's part of your real life. So if you have the mindset that your snake world, your snake community, your snake business is not part of your real life, I promise you, you're setting yourself up to fail. Because that's one of the things that happens is that we don't prioritize and we don't give it the attention to detail it needs to be successful. People buy up too many single gene snakes expecting to make a fortune. Well, you know something? I love my single gene females, even my normals, okay? And they have all paid themselves off, I would say, minimum tenfold, but more like 100-fold, to be honest with you. Because you got to remember, there's a purpose for everything. It's just having that plan. Anyone have a kidney buyer? Contact. You would have to get onto the black market for that. Also, people go out and buy up a bunch of males because they can get them cheaper, then have a bunch of snakes sitting around with no females to pair them to. Again, mouths to feed and no plan, right? So we're going back to what Patrick said, what Mac Moore said is planning, okay, not having a plan. So that's what I wanted to talk about is I wanted to talk about how to set up that plan. I wanted to talk about how, and very generally speaking, it's something that I created many years ago, and I got it from when I wrestled in high school off of one of our t-shirts, one of our models. I call it the 4Ds principle. It's goal planning system. Okay. And literally with 4 words, guys, 4 words. All start with the letter D. Get it? 4Ds principle. With these 4 words, you should be able to set your goals and successfully accomplish them. Okay. Um, so the 4D principle can be applied to pretty much anything. But I think that in the snake world, it's very evident that we are not applying all 4Ds. Okay. And the first of the 4Ds, and going back to what Troy said and what about too many single genes or too many males, the first of the 4Ds is desire. Okay. We need to know what it is that we want. What do we want to accomplish? And using the 4Ds guys, you can accomplish any goal, right? These goals can be monumental. Okay, they can be monstrous. How do you eat an elephant? Right? Do you remember that? How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So the 4Ds helps you break down your goals into manageable bites. So that first D of the 4Ds is desire. What is it that you desire? Do you desire to have a successful business? Do you desire to just be in a community with other like-minded individuals, talking about snakes, learning about keeping, maybe expanding your reptile collection? What exactly is it that you desire? And I think quite often we're not clear, right? Why do so many say there's no money to be made just because it takes years to create stable business like everything else? Well, I can tell you as far as DTMG is concerned, he's saying it so that way you all don't compete with it. But desire, do you desire to make money? Is that your goal? There's many people that when they start their collection, there is no desire to turn it into a business. It kind of just happens, or it's something that it either happens unintentionally, or it's something that is inevitable because in order to maintain or sustain your collection, you have to have some sort of let's just say fluid money, right? Because it can get costly. We go from one snake to 20 snakes in the snap of a finger, which is then 20 mouths to feed, and all of a sudden you have a car note, or you're going to start a rodent breeding operation just to sustain your snake collection. So what is it that you desire? If you desire to do this as a business and to make money, then you need to know what that means. And too often we're not clear about what we desire, right? Goes back to what Troy said, where you have too many males. Well, if you desire to do this as a business, then you would learn that males can be used when they're much smaller and females take longer to grow out. So if you were purchasing hatchlings, you want your females to get to breeding size before your males, because you can go a year and a half in, 2 years growing those females, and you can get a male at that year and a half, 2 year point, and then they'll grow together and both be ready at that 3 year mark or your third winter or whatever the case is. So that brings us back to desire. What is it that you desire? Do you desire to just get lucky and hope that you make it and you're successful? No, you have to break down that desire. What is it that you desire? Once you figure that out, okay. Oh, Hugh is here, guys. I don't know if he's medicated or not, but we're gonna have to hit rewind, okay? Once you figure out what it is that you desire, we're gonna go back again to what Patrick said. You have to be dedicated to it. So when you figure out what it is, and when I say what is it that you desire, you have to start breaking down that into steps. Okay, because if you say I want to make money, now you have to start thinking about, well, how do you get there? And Lynette was talking about having marketing, social media presence. We were talking about the energy, the time, the sacrifice, no sleep. Okay, I know that. I just drove 7 hours round trip, just walked through the door. Um, so what is it that you desire? If you desire to make this a business, you have to be dedicated. That brings us to the second D, dedication. And you must be dedicated to do what needs to be done to acquire what it is that you desire, if that makes sense. Okay. And that's when you start realizing you don't succeed by happenstance. You will succeed in your planning stages when you figure out what it is you want and what it will take to get there. That is your dedication. Okay. And then you have to dedicate the time, the money, the resources, the energy to accomplish that. That'll bring us to our third D. Okay. And Danny said he was told that there was no money. And we're always hearing people say that there's no money. I think those are either weak-minded people or people that didn't put their plans together, and or they're scared of competition and they're trying to get people away and not to join. Mentoring is huge. New people don't hit the floor knowing what to do or that they need guidance. And I think that's true, Lynette, and I think that goes aligned with ego suspension, where we have to realize that there are others that know more than us and that they can help us with the process, even if we don't always think that we do things the same way, or we don't always agree on the process. So that brings us to our third D, which is determination. You have to be so determined to dedicate that time, money, resources to accomplish what it is you desire, that nothing will stop you. So that brings us back to what you were saying when you mentioned that things happen, emergencies. You have to put yourself in a place to anticipate that things happen and that there are emergencies and have those plans in place, right? We have to anticipate storms. We have to anticipate power outages. We have to anticipate shortages with food for those of us that don't breed our own animals. You have to anticipate these things and have a plan in place way in advance because you don't want to be caught in the midst of it, right? Texas. I will never forget Texas. My heart still goes out to all those people that lost collections. They lost family, right? Because no one ever anticipated that they would have the snowstorm that they had, right? So you have to anticipate the worst possible case scenarios and be as prepared for those as possible. So that's where determination comes into play. Nothing, okay, is going to stop you from accomplishing what it is that you need to do uh, to achieve what it is that you desire. And again, this happens in the planning stages. That brings us to our last D, which is the most difficult of the four Ds, and that is discipline. And it's easier to figure out the other three, right? What it is I want to make a lot of money selling snakes. I want to have 100 snakes in my collection. I want to have the gates that Justin has to open up to his compound, right? Right? It's easy to say you want those things. Then you figure out what it is that those people did. Well, can you replicate that? It's the discipline. Discipline is the difference between those that have achieved their goals, that have accomplished what it was that they desired, and those that didn't. It comes down to discipline. Um, will you wake up every morning and have that mindset that you're going to follow that process, right? So it's like Mr. Miyagi, wax on, wax off, when you find out your discipline. So again, desire, dedication, determination, and discipline. If you could break those down into very step-by-step processes and anticipate all the different obstacles and hurdles that will come your way. It may not be all of them, but some of them will come your way. You'll accomplish your goals. You will have the operation you want. He's a wise guy, okay, but he DTMG approaches this with a very, very disciplined mindset, and he's doing phenomenal for his first year breeding. Absolutely phenomenal. I think that it's something that it's not common what he's accomplishing in his first year. Started growing last November. My 15-year-old daughter. Yep. Well, that's a beautiful thing. That's great. I enjoy breeding feeders. I'm glad you're doing better, Hugh. Is also taking a ton of time, spending a ton of money, doing everything right, hitting the most amazing snake, only to have it come out of the egg deformed or having other issues. Soul crushing. That can definitely be soul crushing, and it's something that we have to figure out again and anticipate that there is an ugly side to what we do. Samson's third clutch has had issues on top of issues. Just realized one of the snakes are kinked, and it's more towards the neck, which is not such a promising thing. Um, I don't agree with that, Danny. I think that a lot of the information is out there, but mentors help with more than just providing information. It could be insight. It could be something that you didn't anticipate, but they went through it and they make you see things through a different perspective. Mentors can be motivational, inspirational. Um, when you're feeling down or you want to quit, they can share their stories or stories of others that they're aware of. So I think mentorship is good, but that's not for everyone. So that's fine. What you do in your personal time, Randy, is your business, but domination is not one of the 4Ds. I have people I can ask questions for. I don't know if they are mentors or not. They are more experienced than I and walk their own journey. Most I have talked to have been more than willing to help, and you're going to find that. Um, you're going to find people that will be willing to share with you their experiences and to share with you why things may not have gone wrong. But it's also human nature that quite often we have to experience these things on our own, even though there'll be 3 or 4 people that can easily say, I told you so. We just refuse to listen. Okay. But I want you guys to think about that. Wherever you are on your journey right now, think about it. What is it that you desire? Right? Most of you watching this are way past the making this a business stage. We're there. We know that. Okay. So what type of business do you desire? What level? Um, what are you willing to dedicate to that? Okay. How will you dedicate time, money, resources to that? How determined are you to achieve what you desire? What will stop you? What can stop you? We have had people in our community lose relatives, lose children, and yet still push forward. Horrible, horrible scenario, horrible example to have to share, but it's also a horrible reality. Would that be your breaking point? Okay, there are others that not even that broke them and they plowed forward, or if anything, the community um, grew stronger and pulled closer together and was very, very supportive um, in those times. What what's your discipline? What's your wax on? What's your wax off? What is it that you're going to have to do? Will you have to get up 2 hours earlier every morning before work to check on your tubs? Will it be dedicating that time when you come home? But what would be your discipline? Um, what would motivate you to stay disciplined daily? To create those plans and realize, a few days ago, Samson and I were going over plans that are 3 years down the road. Okay, and this is a 9-year-old. I love the mindset, but I'm one very into instant gratification. I like everything right now. So to see that he's in a better place at a younger age, I think it's great, but stick to your plans. If you keep switching your plans, you're never going to have anything. It's okay to add if you want to do different projects, etc., but stick to your plans. Okay. Eric says that most will help, but I also ask different breeders the same question and to see if you get the same or similar answers. And that's a great process right there. Okay. There's more than one way to skin a cat. Always have the benefit of the animal at the forefront of everything. and find the way that will work for you, that will work within your process, within your discipline. Sharing the knowledge and experience is key. Love seeing others succeed as much as seeing ourselves succeed. And that's a beautiful thing, Angie. But the reality is everyone doesn't have that sentiment. We live in a very, very competitive world, competitive nature. And for me, weak minded people, weak individuals don't have that frame of mind. They they're threatened by others' success or they envy it. I believe you had an experience with that recently, with Miranda and Kayla, and it was disgusting, right? Where you see people's true colors and the envy. But that's part of the determination factor. That's the determination factor where someone comes to you and they're hating or negative. Your determination has to be stronger to plow through that. To have a breeder say you don't want that snake, then explain why and tell you what options you should be going with can be the difference in making it or not. Some of us are stubborn, um, but I agree that they're pure genetics. He's been preaching hets to me for forever now, and I couldn't stand hets. I'm just like, why do you want to have a collection full of normal looking snakes? I'm a sucker for eye candy, right? Now, and this happened a little while back, but I grew to appreciate the power of hets, right? Then we're looking at the big picture, the financial advantages of hets, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. He has hit the lotto when it comes to the clutches he has produced this season off of his hets. Absolutely phenomenal. And he just dropped another clutch, and I don't know if he shared it yet, so I won't be talking about it um, in detail. But it just keeps happening, right? So sometimes we don't see it, and I appreciate him for dealing with me and sharing his ways and preaching the head. Now I see it. So we don't always see that in the beginning, Troy. I would not have the collection I do without Bob Vu. That is awesome. Maybe you should take him to a spa or something. I am starting my third season. I've worked a mega overtime constantly to pour into my collection. I am growing at a steady pace and feel accomplished when I produce a $50 animal as well as a $1,000 animal. And I can definitely understand that. I just gave my ASF breeder, I just gave him a wild type male. Okay. Um, I've been, this was off of Samson's his second clutch, which felt great. Samson donated a lemon blast to Kayla and Miranda's fundraiser. That's the sense of pride goes beyond the monetary value of the animals. Samson's goal this year, okay, was to hit 5 clutches. He's hit 5 clutches. We're looking at number 6 now, but he hit 5 clutches. There's the last 2 are in the incubator right now, and we have a possibility of another one dropping soon. But his goal was to hit 5 clutches. So for my 9-year-old son to hit goal of 5 clutches was absolutely amazing. His main goal as far as what morph to hit was a lemon blast. We have snakes here with 7 genes in them. 5 gene snakes are all over the place. His goal was a lemon blast. He loved the way the male lemon blast looked, and he wanted to make one. In his second clutch, he hit 3 lemon blasts. So plays a major motivational factor. But at the end of the day, if we do desire to do this as a business, This is where we have to start breaking apart those emotional things and look at how to make money off of it, right? So if we're doing this as a business, where the purpose of a business is financial gain. So you would have to actually start removing the personal and the emotional aspects of what you do to generate the funding that you need to have a successful business, such as breeding certain projects that you may not be so keen on. Okay. Good morning. So that comes with what is it that you desire. Asians are pretty smart. Well, I don't know what happened to you, Danny. Okay. I don't know but that's very stereotypical, and I don't want to go down that road right now. Okay. So Bob Vu, I've heard so many good things about him. And as a matter of fact, when we were in Arlington, I was eating at a steakhouse with Marino from You Already Know, and Bob Vu was at the table next door with a whole bunch of other breeders. So I think I paid for Bob's house. He doesn't need a spa day. Well, maybe not his house, maybe his kid's college tuition, right? Some people don't understand that who you choose to be aligned with can and will affect your business. I definitely agree with that, but I would look at that in. You would think I was still in the South Bronx. My gosh, it's not even 8 o'clock in the morning. We have sirens. I would agree with that, but with limitations, because in any business, you have to be that driving force for your own business. You have to be that person that, like, again, how determined are you? Because you're going to have roadblocks. I've had a situation over the last few months that is still under my skin, where I vouch for someone, where I pushed and promoted them, their animals, their products, and found out that the person was a hustler, the person was a liar, scam artist, full of it, okay, full of the poo-poo emoji. Um, and it bothers me because I put my name on that, and that was more emotional than business, because I had created a bond, a connection with that person and my child and one of their children. So you have to be careful, but you can't let that stop you. Even recently, I was talking to someone, and I'm like, I'm just so frustrated that I put my name on this person and I vouch for them. And they were like, well, people know that's not you. And it's not me to vouch for people without being clear. So I screwed up. Um, but at the end of the day, it's you that'll be the driving force behind your business. Okay, it's you that will make or break your business. No one, and this again goes into the D for determination. No one will can stop you from being successful. The most successful people in the world have had naysayers, haters, their entire life. People trying to sabotage, people trying to block them. At the end of the day, it's the man in the mirror. Don't make me start singing like Michael Jackson on you guys. I can say that even though I'm very new and don't know anything, the things I have found out quickly is to buy quality, and the other is to surround yourself with quality people that will give their time when you need them. I can definitely appreciate that. I apologize for laughing. Nothing funny about that comment. But like I said, Danny comes on here to poke the bear and make me laugh, and he's pretty damn good at it. I don't know what a spa day with a happy ending is, but I'm sure you do, boo boo. I'm gonna tell your wife, see if she goes out with you on date night. Okay. Good morning, Gato. Gato, guys, Gato is crushing it right now. He's setting his goals, as he mentioned the other day. He hasn't been here because he's been taking care of his health. So definitely big shout outs to you for that, Gato. And look, I just realized I have to get this back on the cap. My button cap has fallen apart. Giving out major keys. Well, I want to see other people succeed. I don't compete with anyone, Derek. You and I have shared this regarding our YouTube channels. I don't compete with anyone. I compete with myself, and I know that I want to do better if I see that others are doing better. And it always comes back at the end of the day. Like you'd be surprised on how many animals we have on our in our collection that are worth pretty good money that were gifted to us or I was talking about it. I don't wear anything that's not reptile related now. I have 40 something t-shirts because people always like, hey, I want to send you a t-shirt. And I think that's like pretty awesome. Um, but yeah, if these are gems, and if these are keys to success, take them, guys. I don't believe there is a key to success. I believe there's a keychain, like a janitor's keychain. You know, I remember when I was a kid, I always liked the janitor's keychain. I didn't have keys, and it just looked so cool to see a janitor with all those keys. And I think it's a keychain to success, right? Because there's different keys to different things. So take those keys that you need, man. 24 people watching. Smash that like button. Come on, guys. Let's get it going. Let's get the juices flowing. Smash the likes and crush the subs. Spread the word. We're still not at 1,000. And congratulations to you, Derek, with your 4,000 hours of watch time. Guys, if you're not following Derek's Reptiles, please go give him a follow, a sub on YouTube. He is doing his thing. Rat House done in record time to make it in time. Well, Pipeline, you said you were going to do that nice and early so you could join us. I am moving my beginner animals out of my breeding rotation. The cheaper sucker snakes I was talked into buying as a beginner. Learned the hard way, so now I am correcting my direction. And we all learn with bumps and bruises. I think it happens to the best of us. I still have my eye candy. And I say it and I'll keep saying it. I'm a sucker for eye candy, and I don't need plans for those snakes. And it goes back to the first D. What is it that you desire? And I desire to teach my son how to run a business. And we found a common bond in snakes, and we use that for him to be educated in finances and planning and marketing. Um, and the elbow grease that goes into running the business. And if this is something that he doesn't desire as he gets older and chooses to go a different route, he'll have that keychain, right? He'll have the keychain of success, and he can apply that to whatever his heart will desire. That's what I desire. I didn't desire to make world's first. I didn't desire to outdo anyone. Even though I wouldn't mind my son and I actually at some point producing a quad recessive visual. I think that'd be a pretty good a pretty good result to do that. So that would be really, really cool. Um, People also need to strive to be original. It's great to try to make things you saw that you like, but make something never seen or rarely seen before. Can definitely do wonders for your business. I agree. I agree, but also we have to keep in mind that another key factor to business is supply and demand. Okay. And based on what others have produced before you has created a demand. There are certain animals, I always say, you don't have to be a fan of it. I am not the biggest fan of bells, but bells have a demand. Pieds have a demand. Clowns have a demand. And because of that demand, we have to keep up the supply. So it's good, but you also have to realize there are different levels or different tiers of clientele, right? You can't go making $10,000 snakes because and just make $10,000 snakes, because then you need the $10,000 clientele. So I definitely agree with you, because it's one way to market. It's another way to get more exposure, to put your stamp on things, and to say you were the first to do that. But keep in mind, to sustain the business, you got to put out those enchies, you got to put out the leopards, you got to put out the pieds and the bells and the single gene clowns, for those that aren't looking to start a business. They just want a beautiful snake, and they saw it and they liked it. So I definitely respect that and understand that. I agree. I'm glad Gatto's doing better. You are very much appreciated Can't make money with scared money. So that's absolutely correct. Buy quality. uh, Businesses are investments of time and money. So I definitely agree with that. You do have to put in money to make money. At the end of the day, one of the things I've learned throughout my career working different places, having different businesses, is the more money you invest, the more money you make. People don't want to hear it. You have people that have the mentality that they want to cut every corner possible and they think they're saving money. You're not saving money. You're losing money. You're wasting money. You have to invest in yourself in order to make that money at the end of the day. If you want to make those $10,000 snakes, those $20,000 snakes, well, you need to have the ingredients, and those cost money. You're not making that with, like I say, I have a seven gene snakes, 5 gene snakes. They're not making me a $20,000 snake, guys. They're not making me a $10,000 snake. All right, they barely can make me $1,000 snake. They don't have the ingredients that merit that. But if I go and drop $2,000 on a snake here, I have a much better chance and a higher turnaround when those snakes are being sold. So definitely understand that. Maintenance man keychain. I got 3 pounds of keys off my hip. I got you, brother. I got you. I just hope that you got those keys to success there and that you continue doing what you have to do to be successful. My keys are pulling down my pants. Well, you're a locksmith. That's a whole different story. That is a whole different story. Um, my favorite females stay, but I bought a ton of males for backup males and ended up way heavy and not producing anything with the extra males. And that's where you're gonna have a male sale, Hugh. That's where you're gonna have to start dumping them. And I think it's one of the things that we definitely do a lot. Okay, we definitely do that a lot, where all of a sudden you have a disproportionate ratio of males to females that's unnecessary in a breeding business. Okay, your collection can be whatever you want. I know people that collect primarily males because they don't do this as a business. They're into the snakes. Males are smaller. They eat less. They can have more of them on display. So again, it goes back to what is it that you desire and what is necessary to achieve that that you desire. Okay. Posted a possible world's first this morning on Instagram. We will be checking that out. We will definitely be checking that out. But guys, I really hope that somebody needed to hear this today. Putting my preacher hat on, can I get an amen? But yeah, I'm hoping that somebody really needed to hear this today and that somebody maybe was on the fence and this is going to help them turn things around and that they realize with desire, dedication, determination, and discipline, they can accomplish whatever goal that they have in mind. Follow the roadmap that top breeders made already and get off the road when you are stable and ready. So again, there's different ways, I tell people, and again, this goes back to desire, right? If you think about desire as a destination, where is it that you want to go? That's what you desire. There are different routes to get there, and you have to figure out which route works best for you. So you can look at different roadmaps, right? When we punch in a destination in the GPS, there are different options there. It's going to show you how to get there with tolls. Tolls may be a little more expensive, but they may be a quicker route. There'll be non-tolls. Maybe you don't have that toll money in your pocket, but you still need to get there. Um, there'll be highway, no highway, et cetera, et cetera. Maybe you have to make a stop on the way. So think about desire as your destination, and you have to key in that destination into the GPS, and then figure out which route works best for you and your circumstances, your situation, your finances, your availability, free time. You have to figure all of that out, okay, guys? But I definitely agree. There's many roadmaps that have been out there. Why not use what other breeders have used? I think that we are in a much better place than the Justins and the Bryans and the Kevins and the Jessies. We're in a much better place because we have their roadmaps laid out already. and we have more technology, and we can bypass a lot of the off-road bumps and bruises that they went on. So I think that we're in a much better place, and that we should look at that. So, but you also have to be smart when it comes to what you're capable of. There's people out here with families, and you see them spending all their money on animals. You still have to live. So this goes back to the discipline. Okay. Um, it goes back to the discipline in being prepared and having a plan in case something goes wrong. And that's the people that end up on that 3 year list. It's biting off more than you can chew. Um, there's nothing wrong with having one pair and starting your process slowly. That way, you don't get affected outside of this world that people call the snake world, and in their real world, and that their snake world doesn't get affected by their real world if something were to happen. I had Clown Sation on my show last week, and it's sad. It's sad what he's going through. He's fighting for his collection. I don't think they're going to resolve that. I've gotten no response from Echo Reptiles, um, but Clown Station wants his collection back, but he has nowhere to store them. He doesn't even have a roof over his head, so it's an ugly situation. And again, sometimes we have to put our pride to the side, and we have to regroup and sell our entire collection, and use that money to get back on our feet, and realize, well, this is what I did wrong the first time. Let me not do it again. Just broke my clutch record, clutch 5 on the ground. Congratulations. That is great to hear. That's awesome to hear. I wish you more record breaking in your future. Okay. So, guys, we're gonna wrap it up. I didn't even think that we were gonna be doing an hour long show today. This is better than a Scared Straight program. For some reason, Danny, I could see you in Scared Straight when you were a kid. Okay. I can definitely see that. Absolutely, Brian, and spell my name correctly with the Y. I think some people shoot themselves in the foot trying to keep up. Also, what happens is we just see all these deals that are just too good to pass, but don't don't keep in the back of our minds housing, feeding, electricity, time, right? So stick to your plan, guys. Okay, what is it that you desire? How determined are you to accomplish that? What are you willing to dedicate to accomplish that desire? And what will be the discipline? What's your wax on, wax off? What's your discipline that's going to do the step by step process every single day until you cross that finish line? All right, guys. So my break my break is over at Tractor Supply Company. I have to get back to work, but I want to thank all of you for joining me today on What's in Your Cup. And I hope that, again, one of these things helped you, helped at least one of you. I must get back on what do I do at, I want to know before we sign off, what exactly do I do at Tractor Supply? Am I a cashier? Am I a stock boy? What do I do there, Daddy? I'm gonna put the stickers up here, guys. We're gonna put Samson and I are gonna put the stickers on here soon. We have so many stickers, um, but we're not putting up the dead stickers. Those go in the sticker graveyard. Okay. Toilet cleaner. Okay, I could do that. Considering I dirty so many toilets, I could definitely do that. So the 3 year list does not get put out there. Want to say good morning?
Morning, everybody.
Getting ready for school. The 3 year list does not get put out there. Number one, I don't want to discourage anyone. Number two, uh, I it's just certain people that I have conversations with. We talk about it offline, and they'll either agree with me or disagree. And the worst thing, the saddest thing, is not having people on that 3 year list and seeing them uh, sell a collection. That's the saddest thing. Some people, you just know it's going to happen. Yeah, Samson likes to party all night, man. He parties like a rock star. Chicken baby keeper. Pine shavings. I got stacks and stacks of pine shavings back there. The sticker graveyard. I'm down to do a show on the sticker graveyard. I definitely am down to do that. But you guys are supposed to send me any stickers you may have that I don't have of people that are no longer here. Okay. So Gato says good morning. But guys, we wish you guys a great day. We wish you all have an amazing day. Samson's working on his 4Ds. I'm working on my 4Ds, and we hope that you guys are all working on your 4Ds. So go crush your goals, guys. Go crush it. Carpe diem. Today is as good a day as any to crush those goals. Have a great day, everybody.
Have a good day, everybody.
You're not on my list, Hugh. Thank you, guys.
Good morning.
And now I must report to the front desk.